Guys, we have another really big astrology window that's opening right now, and it is going to be carrying us through the weekend. We are beginning an activation, an exact opposition between Mars in Scorpio and Uranus in Taurus today. This could bring some really, really big, explosive, dynamic, unexpected, unpredictable change or disruption that is going on. And this is a 2-day aspect. It's going to be going on it's starting today, and it's going to be going on tomorrow as well. We also have the moon coming into an alignment with Uranus today, really giving it even an extra, like packing even an extra punch. So really big, potentially explosive and dynamic energetics today, leading into tomorrow, building into the full moon lunar eclipse that we have coming up on the 19th. So this next couple days is probably going to be intense, you guys. And let me explain to you guys why. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today is Wednesday, November 17th, 2021. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook of the day, and we have a lot to talk about. This is a very, very, very big explosive energetic that we have going on. It really can't be understated. And again, I know I keep coming out here and being like, huge energetics today, huge energetics today, huge energetics today. But that is genuinely just because that is what is going on. We are in the transition of ages right now. This year is a very, very fundamental year in that transitional process. And that requires major energetic, vibrational, like frequency-based changes to happen. And that is why we are having all of these very synchronistic, massive activations back to back to back, because this is the year, this is the time of the year, and this is the process, and this is how it's happening. This is the transition from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarian paradigm. And it just takes a lot of vibrational and energetic change in order to make that happen. And today is definitely a day that is playing a fundamental role in that process. Because, if you think about it, Uranus is the ruler. Uranus rules Aquarius. Uranus is the frequency that rules the age of Aquarian, the age of Aquarius that we're moving into right now. And when Uranus is making these big aspects, as he has been all year, and this persistent continuing Uranus-Saturn square that we've been dealing with all year as well, whenever Uranus is activated, it is really changing us vibrationally and causing things to happen to help us liberate ourselves from our past paradigm so that we can make this transition. So we are really heading into a whole new world, and these energetics, this whole Scorpio cycle, and also, today with the Uranus activation, again, building into this full moon lunar eclipse that we have on the 19th is all a part of it. So let's talk about the specifics of the energies, you guys, because we're at a very important point in time, and these are the driving forces behind this transitional process. So for today, with the Mars-Uranus opposition happening, like I said, the moon is involved in this as well. The moon will be in Taurus conjuncting Uranus while Uranus is in opposition to Mars. And the moon is one of our trigger planets that makes things happen. So it could be a very, very active day today. A lot of things happening that really cause potentially some very unexpected changes. So let's talk about the position of the sun and the earth first and foremost. That will just sort of give us some context to help us understand what this energy is really moving us towards. And today we have the sun located at 26 degrees of Scorpio. And the Sabian symbol of that degree, or the energy of that specific degree, described in a picture form so that we can get a better idea of how this frequency discharges and is symbolically represented. That's what the Sabian symbols really describe. And at 26 degrees of Scorpio, that Sabian symbol is Indians making camp in new territories. So, there goes my light again. It has been a very interesting time trying to get this video recorded today. Very, things just not going according to plan. And it's funny that I'm making a video about Uranus, because that is how Uranus works as well. So hopefully my light will stay up for the rest of this video today. But anyways, Indians making a camp in new territory. So in the context of this Mars-Uranus opposition that we have going on today, it's really like the energy is helping us and telling us that we are entering new territory now, and our energy is really being recalibrated. We are starting a whole new way of life, Indians making camp in a new territory, and we are embarking on a new journey. And that really is what is happening. We are on a new journey into a new paradigm, the age of Aquarius, which is represented through Uranus making aspects right now at this point in time. And so, regardless of what goes on or how things seem at the moment, simply the position of the sun today in the context of this aspect is telling us that it has to do with us making some type of new territory, making a camp in a new territory, setting up somewhere new, starting fresh. So it really is. And that makes sense also in the context of Uranus, which is doing its best to really try to shake us out of anything that has been hindering us or holding us back or enslaving us for any reason from being our true and authentic self. So we are heading for new territory, you guys, with these aspects that are playing out over the course of today, tomorrow, and with the full moon. We have the Earth today at 26 degrees of Taurus. That Sabian symbol is a Spaniard serenading his senorita. And so this sort of makes me feel like actually we're like following our heart with this though. We are following our heart to this new territory. It's like following the song in our heart and wanting to express our feelings of love and pursue the things that we love. And we are setting off in search of a new territory, a new way of doing that. And it does correlate to those Uranian themes of breaking us out of anything that is hindering our truth and our authentic creative self-expression and us being free to use our energy in a way that is authentic to us with Uranus in opposition to Mars. So in the context of these energies that are playing out today, we know that this is about really following our heart and being able to truly express our authentic feelings in a way that is really new and potentially foreign to us. So very interesting. So yeah, the aspects starting now through the 19th with the full lunar eclipse happening on, I think it's Friday, are going to be about giving us the opportunity for a fresh start in alignment with our heart. And that is what the position of the sun and the earth are telling us today about these aspects that are in effect simultaneously. So now let's go in and talk specifically about this aspect, Mars in opposition to Uranus in Taurus and Scorpio. So like I said, Uranus is still at 13 degrees of Scorpio. That Sabian symbol is a porter carrying a mountain of heavy baggage. That was the same degree where Uranus was when the new moon, the sun and moon, lined up in Scorpio in exact opposition. So this Mars-Uranus opposition today is reactivating the new moon. So things that started with the new moon may also come up with this today and change in some type of dynamic way as well. So, that we have that going on. It is referencing the beginning of this cycle, and changes that started happening then may really, really see like an uptick in speed in progress right now with this activation. So let's talk about just like Taurus and Scorpio, the polarities in which this is occurring, the signs that this is happening for a moment. Taurus, the sign of Taurus ruled by Venus is all about like the fruit of the earth, really. It is all about what we build in our lives that give us like safety and stability and comfort and pleasure. And it rules money and finances, financial markets, economies, supply chains, resources. Like I said, everything that the earth produces is ruled by Taurus, material possessions and food specifically as well. Now, Scorpio, this is the sign that rules, like secrets and hidden things and regeneration, death and rebirth, manipulation, root problems, things hidden under the ground, things hidden under the surface, things that we don't see unless we really dig and look for them. Purging, purification, regeneration, all of these themes associated with Taurus and the Taurus frequencies and the Taurus archetypes. And with these planets being in Taurus and Scorpio, we could see definitely shocking change happen very fast across any of these themes, these specifically Taurus related themes, and a purge and a regeneration in regards to these Taurus related themes. And this has been building, we have already been experiencing, supply chain issues and resource issues and stuff like that. But there is a potential with these energies happening on these polarities and the specific planets involved that we could really see even more disruptions in terms of things that are produced by the earth, or this could include like food resources and like supply chains, like I said, also financial and economic disruptions, upsets, uncertainties, just upsets and uncertainties or disruptions in our material comforts, our material pleasures, the things that we build in our lives that provide that safety and that security and that make us feel like wholesome and nourished and stuff like that, potentially up for some type of purge or regeneration with these energies happening in these polarities. So, and the specific degrees, okay? Like I said, Uranus is at 13 degrees of Taurus. That Sabian symbol is a porter carrying a mountain of heavy baggage. Mars at 13 degrees of Scorpio, the same degree where the new moon occurred. The sun and the moon were at 13 degrees of Scorpio for their new moon this cycle. That Sabian symbol is an inventor performs a laboratory experiment. So with these specific degrees being activated as well, it's like something may be removed or taken off your hands. A weight may be lifted at this point in time, and it gives the opportunity to reinvent ourselves or want some aspect of our lives in some type of a way. Uranus at a porter carrying a mountain of heavy baggage, taking something off of our hands, taking our baggage for us, really. Universe is doing this, and through that process with Mars at the degree about an inventor performing an experiment, is whatever we are losing at this point in time is happening so that we can go through a process of personal reinvention and really put our energy and our motivation and our will and our strength and our courage into this process of reinventing ourselves, with it being Mars now at this degree. And again, this theme is just very, very important and relevant right now, because this was the same thing that the new moon was speaking about, having been at this degree as well, really reinventing ourselves this cycle. And I was interpreting it really as like almost like an energetic and a frequency based change, like an alchemical process that is happening alongside of this, because all of the Chiron that was also involved. And so it really is giving us an opportunity to really recreate and reinvent ourselves based on, first of all, the ability to let something go, to allow something to be taken off of our hands and not to be in resistance of that. And also through this process of wisdom gained through experience, that has also been a major theme of this cycle as well. So now let's talk about the specifics of this aspect, Mars in opposition to Uranus itself, despite the signs and the degree placement that we already spoke of. And this can really sort of have two different ways that it can operate. Number one, it can be like spontaneous rebellion against people who have held you back in some way, or who have angered you, like consistently in the past, like people who have just, there's just been building tension over time. It can cause like some serious rebellion to take place. Uranus is a planet that does, resonate and correlate a lot of times to acts of rebellion. And this can also operate though as like a sudden act impulsively to escape some type of duty or obligation that circumstances have imposed on you. It's really like there is just really going to be this really strong internal desire to break restrictions with this energy in effect, especially, it would have to be, right, that the moon lines up with Uranus exactly as this is going on. Actually, around 11 p.m. tonight is when the moon will come into the exact conjunction with Uranus, while Mars is in exact opposition. So this energy, even like emotionally and internally, is building all day. But with the moon there simultaneously, that is also like an internal awakening to things, and maybe that is what causes the rebellion. But there's just this definite desire to resist anything that is hindering us, holding us back, restricting or limiting us. And with the moon there as well, this is going to be a very strong and potent, emotionally driven process, whether it is because of things that we're realizing, epiphanies that we're having that are causing us to rebel and revolt against things that have been holding us back, or whether it's more of an unconscious just I can't take this anymore type of thing. That is sort of the energy that we can just expect, and that is building, and that is in effect, and that is operating with this specific transit, especially in alignment with the moon. Usually this transit, Mars in opposition to Uranus, can create an explosive release of tension through sudden anger against someone who, has been doing this, but also just generally it can sort of be like an eruption of suppressed feelings and stuff like that. And it has a tendency, unfortunately, to affect primarily the people that are most closest to us. So, like I was saying, and with this full moon lunar eclipse being conjunct the fixed star Algol, which, can have to do with us like losing our mind about things, being in control the best we can and staying grounded in our thoughts and in our logic and not allowing ourselves to be controlled by emotional impulses and urges is going to be beneficial under these energetics. Okay, so just basic themes that we can expect with this. It can make us feel very restless, very irritable. Blow-ups are very likely. A lot of people are likely also to be projecting this energy, and it's possible also to experience like disruptions in your life as a result of the actions that other people are taking, because other people may be unconsciously, subconsciously feeling these things and projecting them outwards as well. Ego conflicts also, and sudden disruptive events that force you to like totally change your plans. Very prominent when we have Mars in an opposition to Uranus. Any plans may be just like expect the unexpected there for sure. And if you are not making the changes that universe really wants you to make right now and is guiding you to make, and like sort of being an agent of creative change in your own life and taking the guidance of universe right now and not resisting the things that are happening, this transit can really bring some really disruptive circumstances if you're sort of like fighting against the tides of what universe and what life is trying to do for you right now. Surrendering to this energy is always the best way to deal with it, and fighting against it, resisting anything that universe is really trying to do to save you and liberate you from the things that aren't good for you right now, has a tendency to really backfire and create some like really disruptive events or accidents. So just something to keep in mind when we have these two planets in this opposition. Really though, guys, like I said, at the end of the day, this aspect is really pushing towards liberation from the things that block our authentic creative expression of our energy with Mars, or that block our ability to assert ourselves in a way that is authentically in alignment with us, breaking down all of the structures in our lives that are out of alignment with truth. And that is what has been happening all year long, and that is Uranus's job right now. Whenever Uranus is activated, it's breaking down the things and freeing us from the things that are not associated with our truth and that are not in alignment with what is really truly going to benefit us to come into our true potential and activate our destiny and really go through this hero's journey and the wisdom gained through experience and the healing and the transcendence and the energetic shift. That is what we need to be doing right now. And wherever we are resisting that, wherever we are pushing it away, or wherever we are going against the flow of the things that are happening, this is the type of energy that is going to come in, rectify that. And it is likely to be in a very disruptive way. So, like I said, though, on the flip side, this transit is so supportive in helping us to break free from things that we've been either enslaved to, toxic cycles, toxic patterns, toxic power dynamics, toxic ways of using our energy, and that just living in a way that is not in alignment with our authenticity. This energetic is really trying to help put us back on the proper track for us, even if we don't realize it. This energy helps us break free and align with something radically new and different that is actually our personal truth, even though we may not have been living that way for a very long period of time. If you are aligned with these energies, though, you guys, this can be a really tremendous and very beneficial time to act, as we have just like more freedom and self-determination that comes with this. So, if this is something that you've been working on, if you have been a creative agent of active change in your life and really trying to move yourself in a way that is breaking you out of these toxic patterns and self-sabotaging ways of doing things and moving in alignment with your authentic truth, this can be a very supportive aspect that really brings even more of that freedom and self-determination to do those things. But it also is going to create most likely a very strong resistance from others, because that is just the flip side of this dynamic. Things happening now are likely to come back also in about 6 months, when we're going to be having Mars form the next direct aspect, the square to Uranus. So what is happening now under this aspect, what is transpiring now, is likely to be reactivated, come back around, come to some type of completion, or have more forward movement as we move, throughout the next 6 months into this square that will come up next between these two planets. So something to keep in mind, whatever's happening now under these energetics is likely to come back around in, 6 months. So we really need to do our best to go with the flow of universe and Uranus right now and not fight against these changes. We are breaking free with this. And if we are too attached to our life restrictions to do it on our own, we are just likely to experience these disturbances or accidents with Uranus and Mars together as your universe does what is necessary to wake us up to the truth that we must be liberated from. This is a great awakening aspect, and it has to do with the divine masculine energy as well, because it's Mars. And especially with the moon there today too, you guys, there could be just some really profound awakenings, emotional shifts, like just epiphanies, flashes of insight, like clarity coming through, just like a generalized awakening about the things that you may be struggling with, and realizing and starting to resist and rebel against and move in the direction that is headed towards liberation with authenticity and out of stagnation in terms of continuing to put our energy into things that are not truly like generating our ultimate development of our potential and ability to come into and activate our destiny. So very, very, very powerful energetic that we have going on. It is playing out in a multitude of ways. It's waking us up. It's shaking us out. It's liberating us. And it's causing disruptions and explosions and just very potentially big and dynamic, unpredictable shakeups. Like there really is not a more unpredictable energy than Mars in Scorpio, which is action happening behind the scenes in an unpredictable way, opposite Uranus, the planet of shocks and surprises and unpredictability. So we really can't call this right now, but I really am expecting some major upheavals to go on. And because also this is happening so close to an eclipse window, only 2 days before the eclipse, building into the eclipse energy, eclipses have a tendency of taking, 100 days or so to play out. And so this energy, these, whatever is activated now, we may see this carry on through, the next 3 months or so as well, just because of the proximity with which this is happening to the eclipse and the fact that Mars will still be in opposition to Uranus for the full moon and the eclipse, although he will have moved to 1 degree out of exact activation, but it is still pretty much a direct hit and really close. So things that are happening now, we can expect to carry through into the future. They're just like kicking off, but these are going to be, we are transitioning paradigms. So this is not like an instantaneous process. This is something that is going to take time to complete, but is really happening now. A couple more things I want to say about the energy today. We also have Venus, who is the ruler of Taurus, where Uranus is right now, in Capricorn. She is aspecting both Mars in Scorpio and Uranus in Taurus for this Mars-Uranus opposition today. She's almost in an exact sextile to Mars, and she's almost in an exact trine to Uranus. So again, this could be talking about secrets revealed supporting this process, because it's just referring to like Mars and Venus in the sextile with Mars and Scorpio, talking about things unearthed, things uncovered, action being put into discovering root issues of things, and then simultaneously making the trine to Uranus in her own sign. This also is, especially with her being in Capricorn, indicating even more disruptions in those Venus-oriented themes: partnerships, relationships, finances, economies, resources, comforts, pleasures, all of those things. And having to do definitely with secrets revealed and information that we are learning that for some reason is having some type of causing some type of big upheaval in these Taurus-oriented genres of our life. We also today have Mercury at 19 degrees of Scorpio, sort of wedged right in between the Sun and Mars right now. And that degree where Mercury is today for the first day of this Mars-Uranus activation, where the moon is aligned with Uranus, is a parrot listening and then talking, repeats a conversation that he has overheard. So, this is today, like, this is talking about information spreading. And today with these aspects, it's like whatever is happening, whatever comes up, whatever is disclosed, whatever explodes, whatever happens, it's likely to really be like spreading like wildfire. Like, people are going to hear about it. Like, there's no stopping the spread of information that results from whatever occurs. A parrot listening and then talking repeats a conversation it's overheard. Like, there's no stopping and it's Mercury at that degree too, which is the messenger planet. There's no stopping the messaging that is coming through and the spread of that information in regards to whatever comes from these energetic activations happening today. Overall, you guys, shocks, surprises, disruptions, accidents, but also massive revelations, awakenings, truth, mind-blowing information spreading quickly, sudden clarity, impulsive actions, explosive rage, chaotic, erratic energy, extremes and unpredictability, expect the unexpected, driving towards, all of this energy is driving towards liberation and alignment with authentic truth and breaking free from the things that have been restricting us from doing that up until this point. So that's really what I have for the energetics today, you guys. Again, like, I can't understate the significance of this. We are in one of the most important periods of this year so far, and it is really, it's just about this frequency change that's going on, and everything that needs, and it's happening internally, but it's shifting everything externally as well. And humanity is just in a transitional process right now, and it's requiring these very big resonance frequency changes in order to make this process happen. And that is what we're seeing, that is what we're getting, and that is what I'm excited to talk about every day. And it's just a very profound time in human history. So that's why every day is like a big day these days, and I'm not making it up. Like, it just is what it is, and it's an exciting time to be an astrologer, I'll tell you that. So in terms of the tarot today, when I asked Spirit to clarify the collective energy, like, what are we looking at, what's going on with the collective in terms of this energy that we have playing out the rest of the week, the card that did come out was the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. And again, to me, this is talking about some type of, like, this is Uranus and Taurus, like some type of disruptions in our material world, in our material possessions, our finances, our resources, our food, our supply chains, our economy, our financial markets, like something out of balance that makes us feel as though kind of like our whole, like everything that gives us all of that Taurus energy, the safety, the security, the pleasure, the abundance, the comfort, sort of being upside down by whatever is coming with these energetics. But on the back of the deck, we have the 7 of Wands, and this is us pushing back against it. This is us not giving up. This is us, like having the energy and the will to fight back. So yeah, like, we do probably have some very big and uncomfortable changes coming that really may impact our material world and the resources and supplies and the things that we've been used to. But it's not going to take us down. Humanity has the energy and the will to fight back and to come up with creative solutions to these problems. And we're going to be putting our energy into coming up with those, into creating these solutions. And it's not going to be something, regardless of how difficult it may be, how much of a challenge it may be. And that's really what this is. Like, this is our challenge, is really what this is saying, because this guy's got a challenge. Like, this guy is working hard to push back against something. He's being challenged by something. And this is what our challenge is. The state of our, normal world being sort of upside down. But we're up for the challenge, and we have the opportunity and the incentive and the motivation with Mars to come up with unique solutions to overcome our challenges, to push back. And so I think that that is what we are going to be seeing in the aftermath of whatever is to transpire and occur, is humanity collectively coming up with solutions to the problem that helps us to overcome and fight back, and not giving up and not giving in to any of the challenge and discomfort that is going on. So now I'm going to draw a synchronicity card for us today. Just a message from God. You know, whenever you're listening to this, this is just a little bit of inspiration or guidance that we all need to hear right now for whatever reason, that can help us navigate these energies. And here's the card that wants to come out. It says a blessing in disguise. And that really is the underlying nature of Uranus. That's what Uranus does. I always call Uranus the silver lining planet. Uranus is blessings in disguise. This is an exact actually phrase I've been using in my reports this week to describe the energetics. So this is definitely God confirming that what is happening now is truly a blessing in disguise, and we just need to be creative and have ingenuity and not give up, and have the will to push back in a different way potentially. This card says a blessing in disguise, and the Lord sent thunder and rain that day. 1 Samuel 12:18. Thunder and lightning can be frightening and give us a scare, but it is followed by blessed rain. You are divinely guided and blessed. And it's funny that this card is even literally referencing thunder and lightning, because that electric stores lightning, that is Uranus. This is like this, they're called synchronicity cards, but you know, they're truly living up to their name in this moment today, because this could not be more perfect clarification about what is transpiring right now. Everything that is happening, regardless of how ugly it gets, it's happening to help us shift our vibration and transition into a way of life, a way of being, a way of existing, a way of perceiving reality, and a way of thinking that is going to bring us eventually into a life that is so much more fulfilling, so much more abundant, so much more productive, and so much more like service-based than we had ever experienced up until this point. And everything that happens, I really truly believe right now, is a blessing in disguise. And I've been saying that all week. So thank you for that message, God. Great clarity on the energy that we have going on, and we really do all need to keep that in mind. So that is my video for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Share it with your friends if you think they would be interested. Leave me comments, you guys. I absolutely love your comments. I have a Facebook page and a Facebook group if you're interested in that as well. And come back with me tomorrow, you guys, because we have day 2 of this activation going on, and we are building energy into the full moon lunar eclipse that's going to be happening overnight. It happens at like 4 a.m. Friday morning. So this energy is really incoming, and we got a lot to talk about tomorrow as well. So come back with me. I will see you then, and have a beautiful rest of your day. Guys, remember, we all need to really try to keep our mind about us this week and surrender to the changes that are happening. So blessings in disguise, y'all. I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.